Father, we just pause at this time, Lord, and we thank you. We thank you for every person who's in this room, working in this hospital, is downstairs at the School of Nursing and listening to what I'm saying right now. That may your blessing and provision be upon each person and each family represented here. Father, may your grace dwell on us, that even as we grow, we'll never forget the reason why we are. Not too much that you can say after what Pastor Philip has shared. And truly, I'm grateful. I'm grateful that I'm in a country of 1.25 billion people. I'm grateful that I'm in a country where I could get a college degree, where only 7% of its population ever graduate from college. I'm truly grateful today that I'm not one of the persons who's suffering with malnutrition. Pastor Philip, thank you for introducing me. I think we are all trying to be good people. Nobody is. It has to be somebody with a very different mindset who tries to be a bad person. Sometimes our circumstances really push us over the brink and we do things that we really don't intend or mean to be doing, but most of us are trying very hard to be good people, good husbands, good sons, good parents, good grandparents, good great-grandparents. Before I could come upstairs over here, I went downstairs and I was sitting with the other staff at the School of Nursing. And as I was listening to them, there were some hands which were shown. And those hands which were shown were hands which actually wanted to do better things. And somebody said, I'm grateful for working in Mercy Hospital. When I heard that, my mind went back to 2004. And actually, truly, in some senses, I understand when you start off by saying when we started off in 1954. Because sometimes we forget our beginnings. I stand for those many people for whom there has been free education through sponsorships. I stand on behalf of those persons who have had access to free health from this mission of youth, from this school of youth, from this hospital of youth. I stand on behalf of those persons who have been blessed with the love of Christ. And I pray that blessing is there with you and your families too. This has been a very tough year, and I was seated over here and I was thinking, in case they call me to speak because I requested, I think this team has matured. And this team has matured, and this is a program which has been done entirely by this team. And I think up till now it's been a very, very good program. I just love the School of Nursing, though I don't know why. Is Jesus here? Why Jesus had to have a French beard? Don't crucify me. But today is a day of thankfulness. And sometimes when we stand at the threshold of a new beginning, we have to be grateful for the provision of God's grace. But every morning when that alarm clock is on, we have been able to hear that again. I'm truly grateful to you, Dr. Suru. You have been somebody I have known for many, many years now. First as a person from the church, and in the last 11 years as a person who has led from the front for a hospital. And there have been many times, there have been many times when I have had to seek his advice and guidance on matters which needed wisdom. Thank you, Mr. Wu. I try to do my best. Sometimes our best is not going to be enough. But if you are surrounded by people who have common beliefs and common goals, I think you're in safe hands. This is what can I say about it? I get inspired when I meet with your family. And purely as a secretary of the board, even though you don't hold any personal title, you've been such a blessing to this hospital. And somewhere along the line when your heart is moved by things which is beyond comprehension, you just keep on doing what is good. This is a family that I went and met with before I could join this hospital. The only family that I went and met with. Today, I stand with gratitude in front of you all that you have been a force and a guidance for the last 11 years. Thank you. It is also one of the first years that Ruhi has not been able to come and attend this program. And she regretted that because irrespective of all the plans that you make, things are bound to go wrong. When those things go wrong, change your plan, never your goal. We sometimes change our goals. And the situation is such that one of us always has to stay back. And she sends her best wishes to each one of you. I'm deeply honored that I could call one of the ex-students, Manish. You just raise your hand, Manish. Everybody knows you. Everybody loves you also. I was sitting down and chatting with him at 2 o'clock in the morning yesterday. And we were just recounting the many blessings that God has shared with us. Strangely, whenever I bring one of my friends over here, they somehow seem to join Mercy Hospital. Manish is Mr. Vijay Gaur's son, and he and his sisters have been part of our education system. They've graduated from our school, and today Manish is a resident of in Melbourne, Australia, and is working with one of the largest retail chains. But always a joy to have you here. I want you to know that your father, along with Mrs. Kesar, is one of our images for Shraddha, which is respect. And we want to respect our people. And thank you for representing them today over here. It's a very mature team which has developed, and there's some good things which have happened. And I don't know whether this time we have Colonel Mazumdar in this room. If you would just stand, please. Mr. Lahiri is here. And I don't know whether Sister Sushma is there. They three, along with a host of people, have been responsible for us getting a more than average rating in our NABH pre-assessment. Like NABH is one of our most important steps that we are going to be taking, and they've done it entirely on their own. I feel extremely glad and extremely proud that this team is beginning to mature, and this team is beginning to deliver on critical aspects. I'd like us to appreciate these three persons, the rest of the people who've been really we need influence on our lives, and influence is an extremely important aspect of life. if we are not influencing something or the other, we are really just meandering around life. But we need to always check ourselves and our attitudes and our thoughts as to whether our influence is relevant today, or is it something that we are doing just for our gain and our popularity. And at the end of the day, is significant. Will it outlast us? Relevance and significance. And I'm sorry, I don't know why I'm not going to die tomorrow, hopefully, but just thought I'd share this. Because the death is something which will come on us like a thief. And we are busy enjoying our lives, but it will strike us down. I'm deeply honored that we have in our midst our co-founder, Mrs. Bhante. She has been an amazing lady. And she has her own struggles. And I'm sure she has her own disappointments. But she's there. And if there's one thing I've learned is, irrespective of your circumstances, be there. Be there. Even now, she does all that she can so that you and I can have a better tomorrow. That's a lot, guys. For those of us who want a bigger television and a bigger car and a bigger house, and we all do, let's take some time off to think for someone else. You might get the biggest car around town or the biggest house, not have a companion to drive around with, or family members and loved ones to be in that big life. So enjoy the people that you have in your present, because chances are they will be your future. I'm blessed. I'm grateful. I'm honored that I have got a chance to serve in this institution. That guy up there has a crazy sense of humor. Many years ago, we used to poke fun, as all growing young people, in our arrogance. Sometimes we think we know more than anybody else. It's youth. It's the rush of blood that we have. We think that we can do a much better job than anybody else. And we used to really, because we knew a few people in the mission, we used to talk till 2, 3 in the morning amongst friends. And look at his sense of humor. Today there must be many people out there having tea and discussing what a rotten job we are doing. So guys, be blessed, do well. I love you all, and I hope that this new year brings fulfillment to your lives and gives you all that magnanimity to be a nicer person and that grace to be a blessing to somebody else. That's what it's all about. Influence is not about a bigger desk, a bigger chair, a bigger room, and perks which come. Influence is, have you made somebody's day? Have you made a blessing? So be an influence. Mr. Khator, I cannot but thank you. You will also raise your hands. We are a society. It's very difficult for us to raise capital. And we have to depend on individual donors, whether they are in the country, outside the country, to provide funds to us. And we are working, and he was the first one off the block to be able to organize funding for our institution, much needed funding for our institution. We have to do much better, guys. In 2016, there's one commitment I need from us as a team. We have to do much better. Because well-wishers are not going to be around forever. There's other things which they need to be done. There's much room for growth, there's much room for improvement, and we need to do that. Mr. Khator, thank you so much. Mr. Philip, you've said some very, very kind words for me. I had invited the entire board across, and of course some people would not be able to make it. I was absolutely sure that Mr. and Mrs. Wu would be here, because they are not here in support of me, guys. They are in love with this mission. And today Sanjay is here and they will support Sanjay. Tomorrow if there's anybody else over here, they will support that person with the same passion. Because they are not serving an individual. They are serving the Lord, and one of the ways they are serving the Lord is by being a well-wisher for this institution. I'm grateful for this philosophy. Because sometimes I think that we are more of an individual to individual. But I think that's there. And I love the food in New York. And the time that I get to spend in your home. But I think you'll have a deeper understanding and a deeper love for this entire mission. And Rudy and myself are grateful to you. Grateful to you. Thank you, Auntie, for bringing all of this together. You know, today we have a tough time, but you've been handling this for so many years. Dr. Ivan sends his best wishes. I was there with him some time back, and Christmas season is a very tough time for pastors. There's a lot of engagement which happens, but he's one person who's shared his blessings with our institution and has worked hard towards making our name very viable and visible in the community. And he sends his greetings to us, and he says, please let the staff know that I'm there with them, and that we'll be praying for us. I sent communication across to our board members, and one of the board members got back, and I just want to share what he wrote. Dear Philip Bari, you're there? Okay. Dear Philip Bari, thanks for your greetings and inviting me to the Thanksgiving service. God has done great things through you all during this year and the Spiritual Life team. And your endeavors glorified our Lord. It is so necessary that we recount all His blessings at the end of the year to thank Him as in Psalm 69 verse 30 and glorify Him in the thanksgiving. I spoke to you about influence, relevance and significance. And this year I hope to be working very closely with the Spiritual Life team so that we can continue making a difference and being a blessing to people. Now I can only do that, guys. The rest of the administration and the rest of the team really are able to manage this hospital well. I can then begin to focus on how we can work towards being a blessing as an institution. Mrs. Martin, thank you so much. I want to end by saying that you have been an inspiration. Whenever you are down, and you are really feeling far away from your family and your loved ones, especially in times like Christmas and a year ending, this is your family. God bless you.